Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, the micro toggle switches have arrived. Now they got here about noon. I bought 3 of them. 3 for $7, actually from Walmart. But they were shipped from Kentucky and they came from China, of course. But the wiring is exactly the same on the micro switch as it is on the full-size switch, with the exception of this one has a central neutral position. So I've taken one of the switches and wired it and installed it on this motor, and I made a little mount so I could actually, or a coupler, so I could actually pull a load with this to test it under load. So it is in the neutral position. We turn on the light, or turn on the power, and the light comes on. The motor does not run. It doesn't buzz, it doesn't hum, it doesn't do anything. Right now we're supplying power only to the light bulb. Flip it to the forward position, it runs forwards. Flip it to the reverse position, it runs backwards. So it works absolutely perfectly. Neutral position, no power goes to the motor at all. So put this in forward. Let's run this around. This motor by itself is pulling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. So I just want to do a quick video of this. So, runs forward, and it runs backwards. So it works really well. And this is just a crude installation, but I just wanted to test the micro switch to make sure it could handle the load. It wires exactly like the full-size switch, with the exception of it's so small, rather than running jumpers across from these terminals in the X fashion, I just went outside the switch and just ran jumpers around, as you can see, to connect those terminals together instead of running that piece of X-shaped wire down the center of the switch. It's really difficult. These are really, really small, as you can probably tell, about the size of a dime. A little bit bigger than that, but not much. Anyway, it works. So you have a 3-position switch, which gives you neutral, and as you hear, the motor does nothing. There's no power going to the coil at all. You have forward, and you have reverse. So this works. It works absolutely perfectly. So the age-old problem of bad Marx E units are over with. You still have the option, of course, if the E unit goes out, of tearing this motor completely apart and replacing it. Or you can just cut a couple of wires, install a switch. Now, the original bypass gave you forward only, so you lost reverse. But this way, you at least have forward, reverse, and now, of course, a neutral. So, I'm very likely going to mount this in the Ives 3254. It already has a slot in the top for a switch. And so I will very likely use that as the first locomotive to actually get one of these. This will also work on the micro motor. So if you have a 490 or 400 with a micro motor, or the 588 with the micro motor, you can install one of these switches and run it in reverse as well. This works. It's really, really simple. It's really inexpensive. I got 3 of these switches for $7. So they're not terribly expensive. Of course, if there was still a Radio Shack around, they'd be, I don't know, probably $1.69 each. But unfortunately, there is no place left that I know of that sells consumer electronics on this level. Looking for a double pull, double throw micro toggle switch. There's just no walk-in store that carries them. Radio Shack was pretty much it. So I had to order this. It took about, I don't know, 8 days to get here, something like that. But this was the first true test of the micro switch. And of course, it works. It's set for reverse. And then, of course, you have the neutral position, which gives you nothing but the light. And then just flip it into forward. And you have, of course, forward on the motor. And as you see, that works just absolutely perfectly. It only takes a minute to do it. It works on any Marx motor, including the micro motor. And you now have the option of forward neutral, which was never available on the Marx motor, or reverse, of course. So, a really, really simple alternative to replacing the Marx E unit. It only takes a few minutes. It only costs a few dollars. Anybody can do it. And when I have this mounted in a locomotive, I will do a video, of course. But it's a really, really simple alternative to having to tear this motor apart to replace that E unit. It's manual, yes, but you have forward, reverse, and of course the added advantage is you have neutral. So you can have a Marx locomotive sitting on a siding with its lights on without running. So it's a really, really simple way to add a forward and reverse to a Marx motor where the E unit has failed. It really works. It's really easy. It's really inexpensive. Just remember, you saw it here first. I do not think this has ever been done before. I have never seen anything that allows you to control the direction of a Marx motor. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.